out.
Oh, yes.
Mom, Dad's being weird again.
Luscious.
Honey,
So full.
it's just grass.
Oh, it's so much more than just grass. It's a healthier, greener, and more luscious lawn. Yours can be too.
Look at you.
With Kabursky Brothers Lawn Care.
Remember, no shoes on the lawn. Because you're so beautiful.
Call or click today.
Derek, what's the guarantee? Derek?
Mike, time to make history. Players in Circa Million make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circus Survivor entries choose one team each week with no point spread. The last one standing wins it all.
We have $21 million on the line. Are you in? Visit circusports.com for details.
Murph and Andy, proudly presented by Ramsey Subaru, live and on demand across Iowa everywhere from the Channel Seed Studios. This is Murph and Andy. Murph and Andy, connected by cellular advantage.
Welcome to Murph and Andy on the hottest day of the year. It is sweltering, if not dangerous. State softball and state baseball going on, Andy, not to mention Ragbri. And feels like temp's going to hit 105 depending on where you are.
Or higher. Yeah.
Or higher, It's higher in some places.
The humidity is so bad today. I've been out and about this morning, and a lot of people trying to do stuff early before it starts heating up, and then I think they're just going to kind of go inside and stay there for the rest of the day. And that's not a bad idea. I mean, there's just not a lot you can get done when the heat is that bad. I mean, it's a beautiful day. Doesn't look like we have any chance for those kind of crazy storms that we had last night. God, were those unwelcome. But it's just too uncomfortable to be outside. When the humidity is like this, it's just no fun.
Yeah, geez. All the people that are there, like David Warrington, our new sports reporter at WHO 13, he's there from 9:30 or 10 in the morning until the game's at night. And, man, you got to stay ahead of hydration and that kind of stuff, man. And the umpires wearing that gear. And
you get those dehydration headaches, which are like no other kind of headache. Man, they just shut you down. They hurt so bad, and they kind of sneak up on you. Like you think you're doing fine, and all of a sudden, here it comes. I get those really, really bad, so you almost have to remind yourself to keep drinking water. It seems like we say that too much, like it's just common sense, but it's probably not.
do that now.
Okay. You know what I'm doing? I'm doing the old pardon the cup. My dog.
What do you have?
I'm doing the old farmer's trick. I'm drinking hot coffee.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's a farmer's trick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get hot inside your body and you'll feel cooler?
Yeah. Which I don't think it works unless you're farming indoors in the air conditioning.
In an air conditioning
If you're actually out like with the farm, I don't know that works, but it tastes good to me now. It's fine.
It's a variation of wear long sleeves and pants and cover your head to keep the sun off your skin.
The Arabs do it.
Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines sets the table for today's Murph and Andy Sports and More. Coming up, Bang Bang Play, Rhule, Bax Frost, Watching Las Vegas, all ahead. Guest House Tavern and Oyster, we remind you, as nightly specials, and every Wednesday, that's today, is Walleye Wednesday with fresh walleye and salt and vinegar fries, which I highly recommend.
I knew you would
$20.
like that. Oh, man,
I love me some salt and vinegar. Ooh. Right now, high or low since the last show?
Presented by Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
I had a quick texting conversation with Tim Hawkins just today as I'm kind of reconnecting with our sponsors and what they're thinking these days, just picking their brains. And he's got a cool 8-step plan for getting yourself on the path to financial success and a comfortable retirement.
Steps? Tell them I need 5 at most.
8 steps. Well, they're pretty. They start out pretty elementary, where you got the emergency fund and pay off the high interest debt and get yourself get your credit cards out of the way, that kind of stuff. But Then it gets into the heavy hitter stuff, like numbers 5 through 8. So you want to talk to him about that. He could put you on the right path. We have good financial people here connected with us in this show, and they can help you a lot, whether it's Tim Hawkins or whether it's Tom Coates, those kind of guys. I got a good one today. Excuse me. So I got a package the other day at the TV station. Don't get many of those anymore.
No, not anymore. Not a lot of phone calls anymore.
No.
Not a lot of letters. Not a lot of packages.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't think it had a return address on it either. So I thought, oh, it's a big bag of anthrax. But so I opened it up. And inside is this Drake V-neck sweater, V-neck vest. Actually, I've got it here. Yeah. It's made in the United States, so you know it's old, but it's still got the tag on it.
It does not look new.
No, it's not. But I read that. I was like, what in the world is this? This is somebody that's just trying to unload their old junk on me or something. But I read this note, and it says, my husband graduated Drake in the early 60s. I found this after he passed away last fall. He always enjoyed your thoughts and humor. Enjoy. So
That is
right
so
then,
nice.
I felt bad for suspecting anything other than totally good intentions from people. But this touched my heart. It's really sweet. I don't know who sent this. If you have any idea who sent this, would you please tell her I said thank you. I wish I knew how to get in contact with her. This is
no return address.
Not that I could find. I was looking for the packaging. I've lost the packaging. I don't believe it had a return address, and she didn't sign it. So clearly the point was to just, say something nice, do something nice, and stick and move,
It's very, very nice. And it looks like the sweater still has the purchase tag on it?
Yeah, it's still got the tag on it. It's in perfect condition. It is an extra large, so I'm going to have to grow into it. There were days where I could pull off an XL sweater vest.
Your arms are long enough.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, my torso is long enough, but I'm going to hang on to it just in case. This is really sweet. It looks like something Michael Admire might wear with his kind of classic Drake get-ups, those old letter sweaters.
He wears that big D.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
So I just thought it was really nice. This is really sweet, and I would love to find out what nice lady sent this to me so I could thank her.
That is cool. That's a reminder. Most people are nice. I'm going to follow that up with a low. Sorry about that, but Facebook often drives me crazy. And
no kidding.
I mean, we have many people watching this right now on Facebook, but Facebook drives most of the people on Facebook crazy at times too. And what's getting me is right now they've inserted this send message button that is appearing on like anything I post, and I've tried to turn it off. So I have all these nice people apologizing to me in my messages like, oh, sorry, I was just trying to watch the video. I didn't mean to send you a message. Have a great night. So I come in, I look at my private messages, and there's like dozens of messages.
I've
What's
had
going
that
on?
too. Yeah, okay. I didn't know that was what the problem was.
Yeah, people are accidentally hitting this send message button, which I have not put there, and I don't know how to get rid of it either. I got Van Woke working on it right now, trying to figure out how to get this off there. But anyway, that's just a little nuisance, and it's my low. I liked your high much better. Let's get the buzz here on a Wednesday.
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
Logier Heating and Cooling not having what I would call a quiet day today, because if you have an AC problem right now, you have to have it fixed.
Talked to John Edlin today too, and he says if there's one thing you can do to help yourself right now, it's to make sure the outer unit, your outdoor air conditioning unit, is clean. They get clogged up with the cottonwood seeds and all kinds of dirt and stuff. People don't think to clean those up. The cleaner you can have those, the more efficiently your air conditioner will work in crazy weather like this.
I feel like you're talking to me. That is something I would never think of. So thank you for that. Buzz, a lot of talk still today, continuing on a controversial call at state baseball in Carroll. Two Central Iowa teams battling, both very good. The Sheraton Chargers, the Van Meter Bulldogs, who had that recent run of 4 straight state championships. And Sheraton has taken the lead late, due in part to a balk call that Van Meter did not agree with. So we go to extra innings. Sheraton has a 1-run lead. Van Meter will go for the tie on this single. Runner from second is going to attempt to score, and WHO 13's John Sears has a video. All right, he is called out, and if you're just listening, it's a close play at the plate. The ball and the runner arrive in what is often called a bang-bang play. Some people say this is not a bang-bang play, that the runner was to the plate before the ball was. But when you slow it down, it's a little closer than some people have said. But he does appear to be out in a really... does appear to be safe in a really big spot, and instead Sheraton advances to the semifinals. Van Meter was very upset, remains upset by this call. So, Andy, we had this on the news last night, still being talked about today. I want to start with one thing, that this is a tough job. The umpiring is a tough job, and a lot of people don't want to get into it right now because of the criticism that you miss one call and you can have this happen, where people are furious and they're upset. And it is a difficult call. And the umpire, to me, does appear to be in position there. I've heard some people say he's out of position, but I've seen some other umpires say, no, he's supposed to align with the third baseline, which is where he is.
He is a little far away from the plate, which is really the only thing that I can say. But he looked like he was in position to make the call. But this is a really good throw, and it's a really good slide. He's just a little ahead of the throw. He seems to get his hand in time here. I mean, he's actually safe, reaching with his far hand, which makes it maybe even a little bit more complicated for the umpire.
The right hand?
Yeah, rather than his left, which, you know, the inside hand you would think would maybe be closer to the plate at that point, but maybe he's right-handed, whatever.
I think maybe the catcher has his foot on that part of the plate, which could also complicates the call here. And
But his right hand is way out in front here, so he's trying to tag it with his right hand. And you know, it is a very close play. It's a very good throw. It's a good slide. It's a really tough play, but, you know, you got a couple of things going on here. First of all, the Van Meter fans are already pissed at the umpire crew because of the balk. I think there's another controversial call earlier in the game as well. So they're upset with the crew. And then this on top of that just boils the kettle over. And then, of course, you know, this is parents way into the game, very passionate, in some cases living through their kids, but you know, they're very into it. It's a really big game. This is the state tournament. And they've made a big comeback in this game. And when that happens and then some calls go against you, it almost seems like the umpires are working against you. So, you know, you add all of those things up together, and then you get a situation that's even more heated than maybe it would be typically. But, you know, everybody now is the armchair quarterback. They all would have made the perfect call. They all could have done this. But this happens so fast that it is a reminder of just how difficult that job is. Oh, and he has to make the call. He can't say, hang on.
There's no replay. There's no replay.
I need to look at the replay, or let me think about this for a minute. I mean, you got to make the call
in real
right
time.
Then.
No
and
replay.
Usually
no
they
slow-mo.
are right.
Yeah, it is. It's a tough job, and we've become used to replay because we're watching so many sports that have replay. High school ball does not have replay, nor do we need to start it at this point because so many games don't have an angle like John has there, and it is difficult in real time. And I said last night, we were talking about this, and I said, like, I'm going to die sooner than I would have had I not umpired Little League games when when your turn to volunteer comes up during a season, as they often do in many little leagues at the lower levels. I mean, that took years, or at least days or hours off my life. It's a tough job. You can feel everybody waiting for your calls. You can also feel the energy from each dugout having a different view of what's a strike and what's a ball, depending on their subjective viewpoint. It is a tough job. And this umpire is making the call in real time. I don't think for a moment he's trying to tilt the game towards Sheraton or anything like that. And, you also have to remind people that was to tie the game. That was not to win the game. So you don't know what the outcome would have been. But I get it. If I have a Van Meter kid in that game and I see this play, man, I'm upset, disappointed, all of it. I'm sure the players were too. I thought the Van Meter coaches, I could see them later in John's video, trying to redirect the frustrated players back to the dugout. Let's not let this get out of control. But you played sports, man. When something like that happens and you feel like the call is wrong, man, you're upset.
And the other thing that's really hard is that, I mean, obviously what needs to happen here is that adults need to remember that they're adults and act like adults. But that's really hard to do when you're in that situation and you're wrapped up in it and your kid's all upset and you're all upset, your wife's all upset, and, the season's over at this point. And then you got somebody else who's not even involved telling you to calm down. That never works, right? I mean, does that ever once work? Like somebody's like, calm down. And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That helped. I'm totally calm now.
I am a little too upset about this. You're right.
That doesn't help at all. And, it's truly when you're looking at it objectively, okay? And Van Meter fans can't do that right now. But when you see it objectively, you do know what's right and wrong. Okay? You do see the human element here.
Yes.
You understand the situation with umpires. You understand, we have, truly, I mean, we need to acknowledge this too. We have one view of this play. It's John's camera. That's it. There have been many other plays, and we show them all the time, that you see something but through one camera and you are convinced it's one way. Then all of a sudden somebody shows you another angle and you're not as convinced. Or maybe you completely change your mind and you flip over to the other one. So we should put that into perspective also. We should throw that out there. But it doesn't help when you're the one closest to the situation and you can't be objective. It's totally subjective.
And you've been sitting in 100-degree heat. That doesn't help.
Yeah,
either.
You're hot and and then you see the other team celebrating, and maybe I don't know if there's any kind of history between these kind of teams. And I see a lot of people pointing out that Van Meter wins all the time. They have a lot of wealthy families there. They have a lot of privilege. They have a lot of success that they've had, and it's hard to feel sorry for Van Meter. Well, that's easy to say when you're on the outside and you're not Van Meter. When it comes down to it, they're just parents and kids like anybody else. And of course they're upset about it. So, not to just completely sit the fence here for this entire segment, but that's the place to be is on the fence here.
I think he's safe. I think it was a missed call. I think it's a really difficult job. I think there's a reason that there are umpiring shortages across the country. And it's because when you do miss a call and you are a human being who is going to miss calls, you're going to get this kind of reaction. It's just a really big spot. Now, Doug writes, it's an extremely difficult call. I was there and I thought I saw safe, but it was bang, bang. These fans watching it in slow motion to verify safe and then criticizing are hypocrites. Get your license, become an umpire. 4 umpires watching from the sideline said it was a balk. Van Meter lost and wasn't able to take advantage of 7 Sheraton errors. Hats off to Sheraton for overcoming and persevering. Yeah, it's nice to see Sheraton advance. You want to get every call right, and I'm sure this is going to be hard for some in Van Meter to move past, but they will eventually. Mistakes happen, and there's a reason. Like, I've made no effort, and I hope nobody else has either, to call this umpire out by name or anything like that, because I made mistakes on my job yesterday. I mean, I don't have to go back very far to show the human error when I'm doing my job. I had a score come up in the 9 p.m. news, and it still said 0-0. I'm the one who's supposed to update that. I forgot to do it. That's a human error. I made that mistake. It's not as visible or annoying as this mistake seemingly was, but we are human beings. A quickie poll from WCI Pools and Spas in Ames and Urbandale.
High school, state baseball, and softball are best played on the same week like right now or different weeks like in the past?
Oh, man, easy vote for me. Different weeks. This is too much at once.
Yeah.
And Monday, we had, between baseball and softball, we had 13 Central Iowa games. 13. Today, we have, with softball and baseball, 11 local games, Central Iowa games, even though we've moved to the next round. Some of that speaks to how good Central Iowa teams are. But it's just a lot at once, and now it's in 3 different cities. And it can go on like this, but there are examples of people sometimes who can't be in 2 places at once when their schools are in both tournaments. And people get frustrated when the media doesn't give their team enough attention, but we're all dealing with limited resources these days, and we can't be in 3 cities at once. We can't.
Yeah, we'd like to give them more attention. We would like it if they were divided back up into 2 separate weeks. I mean, that worked much better. It's still a lot of work. It's still a lot of coverage. But,
yep.
I mean, you've been doing 2 segments on the 10 p.m. news the last 2 days.
Right.
Which is Janae and I have no problem with, by the way. I'll point
Yeah,
that out. But between you
I
and
noticed
Ed.
you guys go get a drink.
Yeah,
and
the severe
just
weather
relax.
and the severe sports. Janae and I have had not a whole lot to talk about on the 10 o'clock news. But you know, in a perfect world, you'd keep these on different weeks. But I understand.
It's to have a dead week. For those who don't know, they're creating a dead week for coaches, players, parents, just a week where nothing can be scheduled, so you can plan a vacation.
Yeah, you need
now. John Sears feels strongly like move one or the other up a week. You know, start early or something, so you can
or cut the season
these.
down early. Cut the season by a week.
Speaking of baseball and speaking of Facebook, Andy, what did you see?
I saw this on Facebook. I mean, you know, you see these things pointed out from time to time, and sometimes they really jump out at you, like this one did. Somebody pointing out, this is a list of Major League Baseball teams hitting at least 260 as a team. Go back to as well as recently as 2006, there were 25 teams at this point of the season hitting at least 260 collectively. And then look at the numbers just peter out to the point where 2025, we have 0 teams hitting 260 collectively. Zero. We had 1 in 2018, 8 in 2019, 6, 3, 1, 3, 3, and 0 this year. I mean, that says something. And I notice this all the time because my team, you know, the Cardinals, I just can't, I mean, I understand we measure things a little bit differently in Major League Baseball, and we care a little bit more about about some stats than others. Nowadays, we've kind of cooled on batting average, but that's still an indication of people reaching base safely.
Yeah, it's
generating
action.
Interest and offense.
Activity, something besides standing around. Pitch clock has made that better, but this is still a lot of strikeouts and home runs and no action.
And,
I mean, but that's
the
not
Cardinals
that high of a batting average.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5 hitters hitting 220, and you're just like, what is going on? And it's not just them. It's everybody. And there are a few players who are just, you know, still hitting for high average, and it's incredible. But clearly we have just despite the fact that they've banned the shift, and done a whole bunch of things to try to tweak the offense, it hasn't worked well enough. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that this is part of the problem that baseball has right now. How
do you fix it? Because this is
I don't know.
Couple of things.
I'm open to them lowering the pitcher's mound again, or just getting rid of the pitcher's mound. It worked in 1969.
Because velocity is at the heart of this. Switching pitchers switching pitchers quickly so you can keep having a guy on the mound who's throwing 100 miles an hour. And then the other part of it is the analytics have shown that you should swing for home runs all the time. So everybody's swinging out of their shoes. Everybody's throwing 100 miles an hour. Everybody's changing their starting pitcher, after 5 innings? So
or more.
Yeah. So you just don't have the ball in play enough. There have been some improvements, but I get lowering the mound might be the way to do this. I mean,
you've got multiple arms on every team throwing triple digits. And that never used to be the case. I mean, back when there were, the early 2000s, there were 1 or 2, maybe 3 guys in the entire game that threw 100 miles an hour. And now it's, you can just you can go to the bullpen over and over again and bring out guys that throw that kind of gas over and over and over again. But then again, I mean, the players adapt to that too. They do get better as well. The hitters get better. They get more and more used to, hitting a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. I mean, if you were to go back 30 years ago, a guy throwing a 90-mile-an-hour fast or a 93-mile-an-hour fastball was blowing people away. And that's not the case anymore. So, I mean, the hitters do catch up, but this is a problem. I mean, they have traded, baseball has traded run generation for men on base.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand the point of baseball is to score more runs than the opponent, right? That's never going to change. But there's also the point of entertaining the fans with action on the base paths. And this is an indication that is not being done because we have all these players who are just rarely reaching base. I mean, think about it. 220. I mean, you aren't even reaching base a quarter of the time.
The guys who hit 220 in the 1970s and 80s,
they were out.
They were out, or they
were
hit
Dave
so
King.
many home runs that they got made fun of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of arms, Andy, I was laughing at the comments here from Becky on Facebook. She reminds me that you were gifted a vest. You don't have sleeves. Doesn't matter how long Andy's arms are.
I thought you were making a joke there.
Yeah, it would have been a good joke, but no, I wasn't. I was just thinking sweater. Well, the sleeves will fit.
Yeah, if it was a sweater, I could have. The arm length would not be a problem, but the seams would be like here on my shoulders. Yeah, it's roomy. Maybe it'll go up on the wall. Maybe it should. The problem is it's kind of the same color as the walls.
Yeah, and you got to show that sweater a lot of respect. Yeah. Interact on YouTube like Becky did. No, Becky was on Facebook. Email Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. On X, it's Murph_Andy. Powered by the Cellular Advantage, 35 regional locations, and proud partner with U.S. Cellular since 1993. Couple more topics to hit here before we get to more, and then later, Mr. Movie. Mike Vrabel, Patriots coach, will he learn from the best? Here's Vrabel at his training camp press conference.
Now the guys are back. I know there's 90 of them, but generally speaking,
91,
international pathway. How'd they do? How do you feel about how the guys came back?
I mean, whether you were in a coma when I answered Tom's question, or typing on your phone or tweeting, I don't know, but I spent 5 minutes answering that question. And I can go back through it, but I'd rather not.
Okay.
That's so Belichick-like. I mean, you understand his point. I've been there before. Maybe you have, Andy, where you either arrived late or you were preoccupied with something because of all the stuff you're supposed to be doing at once, and you miss that somebody else has asked that question. But you don't have to be rude. You don't have to be a jerk to people. You can be pleasant without. It's so Belichick-like. It's startling to me.
Yeah, the guys that show just immediately that they do not want to be in on the press conference at all. It's always a little disappointing. I mean, you get a chance to talk about your team and the job that you've coveted your whole life, and you use this opportunity like that. It's uncalled for.
You have to remember you're talking to the fans, and the fans have made this whole golden goose possible. That is.
Now, the problem is if he doesn't win, then anybody that was annoyed by that answer is going to jump on him.
Oh, you think that maybe people jumped on Belichick and his relationship a little more than they would have if he hadn't been a dick for 30 years?
Yeah, just a hunch. That almost sounds worse than Belichick, but I mean, the crazy thing is, like, some coaches really enjoy the opportunity to talk. I mean, if you were to ask Dan McCarney the same question 3 times during a press conference, he would be happy to answer it three times, and each time it would be a little different, and it would be thoroughly entertaining and enjoyable, and would probably
and he would use the reporter's name in his answer.
Yeah, absolutely. He would, and not everybody's like that. I understand people are different, but I mean, when it's all said and done, and you're not in that position anymore, people remember that stuff.
College football headaches continue. We need the season to get here just so we can stop having to talk about this kind of, it's important, but it's just reminds you of how this is all spiraled out of control. Big Ten Commissioner Petitti says the Big Ten remains committed to automatic qualifiers. Why? Well, he didn't say this, but it's because it would be the best for the Big Ten. And like we've said many times, every conference is trying to do what's best for its conference. That's human nature, best for its school. Petitti does the 4-4-2-2-1 model. Now that is 4 automatic qualifiers for the Big Ten and SEC. So it's like an invitational. They get 4 automatics. Then 2 automatic qualifiers for the ACC and Big 12. So they're like the junior varsity in this. And then just 1 automatic qualifier for the top-ranked group of 5 champion. That's what the Big Ten wants. The SEC wants the 5 plus 11. Now, that would be the 5 highest-ranked conference champions. They're granted automatic qualification to the playoff, but the remaining 7 spots would be filled by at-large selections chosen by a selection committee. Petitti says he doesn't want more committee power. He wants more automatic qualifiers. But the SEC wants the committee power because the SEC tends to have the most higher-ranked teams and would benefit from that. So all of this means we're just headed to stay at 12 for a little bit because the SEC and the Big Ten drive the bus. And they're not on the same page.
I mean, those are really big conferences, but that's still pretty rich to say, now half of the teams should be us.
I know.
The other half can be everybody else. This is the kind of topic that Chris and Chris love to get into, and they're good at it, and I leave it to them. No disrespect. I'm not interested in this kind of stuff. I'm just kind of more like, all right, just let me know when we get close to a decision, and then we can talk about it.
And let me know what happened.
Yeah, right. I mean, speculating, and I get lost in the 4-4-5-2-3 and all that kind of stuff. And so you just tap me on the shoulder when we get close to this. And I don't know how much it ultimately matters. Do our teams have any better chance of winning a national title?
Well, here is
scenarios.
Dan Wetzel, the reporter. So one of the things, the reason he shot down hard what the Big Ten is advocating for is because he used Iowa as an example. So let's bring it local. He points out that with the model that the Big Ten wants, that Petitti wants, Iowa would have been in the college football playoff last year. And Wetzel's point is, does anyone think Iowa deserved to be in the college football playoff last year? No. And he points out Iowa's wins were Illinois State, Troy, Minnesota, Washington, Northwestern, Wisconsin, Maryland, and Nebraska. Iowa's losses were Iowa State, Ohio State, Michigan State, and UCLA. So does that sound like a college football playoff team to anyone? I mean, that's really opening it up.
I mean, it doesn't, but Boise State didn't feel like a college football playoff team last year, and they were in.
Yeah.
If you're expanding to 16, you're going to get bad teams. Like, not terrible teams. But you're gonna get
Iowa
teams
was
that
not a
don't-
bad team. That didn't
you're
seem
gonna
like
get
a college
teams
football
that
playoff
don't
team.
have a chance to win a national championship into the playoff. It's why I think 16 is too many.
Complicating all of this is that the SEC plays one fewer conference game. And
Yeah, right.
and look at the non-con. Can't give credit here because I'm not sure who put this together, but this is incredible. Andy, look at this SEC gauntlet of non-conference teams. Georgia, Austin Peay, Marshall, Charlotte, Texas A&M, UTSA, Utah State, Samford, Kentucky, Toledo, Eastern Michigan, Tennessee Tech. I mean, you pick out any of those, it's a joke. I mean,
There's
it's
not
a
a Power
joke.
5 team on this list.
But they haven't figured out a way yet to make you want to play any difficult teams like Indiana. I mean, Indiana's turned its non-con into a joke, which I'll give Signetti credit. He said, we've decided to go to the SEC non-conference schedule model. And they're playing, this is who Indiana's playing, Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, and Indiana State. I don't think Indiana even played a top 25 team in the regular season last year, but they went to the playoff.
Which goes back to the central problem with college football in that there is no governing body powerful enough to step in and say you can't do that. This is bullshit, basically. Fans don't care that much. Alabama fans getting cheap wins, it's fine with them. The fans of the teams that get a chance to play Alabama, payday, they ain't complaining. So who's complaining? I mean, Alabama's opponents, they're doing it too.
Right.
So, I mean.
But we want big games. I mean, like, as Todd points out, Texas plays Ohio State week 1. Can't wait for that. That'll be a great game.
Great. And you can bet that those teams will let off the gas shortly thereafter, if not immediately thereafter.
Meantime, we learn NIL won't count toward the revenue share salary cap. This is another one of those headaches that Andy would just as soon not do a deep dive on. NIL, what does it mean? Let's get to that. NIL collectives can still get money to top recruits and players. So the thought that the collectives were going away, that has now been reversed. So nothing can really slow you down from building, if you have the money, a $50 million roster or whatever you want to do, because the collectives can still get the money to the recruits and the players. Now, Maryland coach Mike Loxley, who's known as a culture guy, got a good reputation. He said that NIL caused him to lose the locker room last year because he had a limited amount of money, and the new guys wanted it, the new recruits wanted it, but he also felt like he needed to reward the loyal guys. I think this is something we can all relate to for Iowa and Iowa State. You have culture programs where you want to reward the guys that stay. This kind of just happened to Iowa State basketball, where you had somebody get more money, Jefferson, and then you can, without even hearing from Taman Lipsey, you can think, what about Taman Lipsey? He's been loyal. He stayed. Doesn't he deserve more money just because he's not asking for it? What do you do in that situation? So
got to put your hand up.
Yeah, Loxley's saying it's a mess, and he handled it the best he can. But he said there was resentment in the locker room because people are comparing how much money they got.
Does that surprise anybody?
No.
I mean, of course, absolutely, that's going to happen.
How did it come to this, Andy? I mean, this isn't what anybody wants, but will we care when the football is kicked on college football Saturdays?
Well, we will care each time this comes up, and each time that we are asked to give more money, which is, that's going to continue.
Yep.
I mean, we want the football to continue. We feel like we're paying for this football now, and we are.
Ticket prices just went up.
We want the football. I was trying to think of what the story that I was reading while I was out of the country about. Is it a number of schools now asking fans to? Put it looping in the payments to players into students' tuition?
Yes. So
what?
The most egregious example of this in this area is at the University of Minnesota. They're upside down on money owed. So the University of Minnesota is hitting every student, even those with no interest in athletics or going to games, $200 a year. 200, which I can't do the quick math on that, but it's millions of dollars. And Minnesota says it has to have that to fund athletics. But if you're a student paying $200 and you don't have any interest in those games, that $200 can matter to some students, of course. Iowa State doesn't have a student fee, I believe. Somebody fact check me on that. I think Iowa has a $75 student fee for all students.
Well, this is my problem. The same problem with restaurants throwing a service charge or a COVID charge or whatever on the end of a receipt. Just raise the price of tuition by $200. Don't, make an excuse or tell fans that they are getting tell students, make it seem like they're actually getting something extra for that $200 because they're not. They're not. And they have no choice. Just put it into the total price of the school. And if it so happens that extra $200 makes the University of Minnesota too expensive for some of those students and they go somewhere else, so be it. The same with restaurants. Rather than putting some cockamamie charge on the customers at the end of it or asking more in tips or pointing out that they need to tip more, raise the price of your sandwich by the amount of money that you want the customer to give to the staff. Or you don't tell me that you're going to, there's some extra charge that goes into a pool that you divide up evenly among the staff. No, just loop it into the price of your sandwich. And if that so happens to make the sandwich too expensive for somebody to buy, well, then that is more straightforward and more honest than what you're doing in this scenario.
At Big Ten Media Days, Nebraska coach Matt Rhule was asked about former Nebraska coach, the Husker legend Scott Frost, and Frost's comments from Big 12 Media Days that the lesson he learned at Nebraska was don't take the wrong job. Here's Rhule.
First of all, I have a ton of respect for Scott, and I've always been very empathetic for what he went through because, this was his home. If you guys fire me tomorrow, I'm just going to go back to Cape May and sit on the beach and go back to where I'm from. But, this was his home. I know what it felt like to get run out of Carolina. And I would say to people, I don't think I took the right job for me. It wasn't the right fit. That doesn't mean it's a bad. No, I will say this. This was not a good job when I got here. We were behind on NIL. The facilities weren't what they were. Everything was behind. Scott came at a time, he had COVID, he had all these different things. So I can't talk about his time. But what I can say was, this wasn't a good job. But we've made it a good job, and we're about to make it a great job. This will be one of the best jobs in the country.
Well, I don't know if that will happen, but I think he handled that well.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
His answers are good.
Yeah, and I think he's just honest. I mean, that is a different job for a guy like Scott Frost than it is for a guy like Matt Rhule. I mean, and that's part of the risk for him. You succeed, you are going to succeed bigger than other coaches would. You fall, you're going to fall harder than other coaches would. It's the same thing with Fred Hoiberg at Iowa State. I can remember when he came in, that's one of the things we pointed out first. Man, he's playing with his legacy here. He's futzing with his legacy. It's perfect in Ames right now. If he can't coach and this program falls on its face or falls even further than it was down already, which was pretty far down, he's hurting his own legacy. But then again, he didn't. He succeeded big time. Right. And he improved on his legacy like nobody else could have.
Different outcomes. And now here's Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson explaining to Adam LaRoche's son just how great an athlete Bo Jackson was.
Played for the Kansas City Royals.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Played for the Kansas City Royals.
How long did you play there?
But your dad was about your age when I played there. How old is your dad?
35.
Yeah, so I played for Kansas City in 86, 87. So I'm way older than your dad. So yeah, your dad was a little boy. He was probably younger than you when I played with. I played with Kansas City, the Chicago White Sox, and the California Angels. And I played with the Raiders. Yeah. You ever heard of the Heisman Trophy? That's the best college football player in the country. I won that.
So you played
Football on the professional level, yes.
So what are the Raiders are from?
They were in Los Angeles, but they're in Oakland now. But when I played, they were in Los Angeles. I'm the only player to make it to the Pro Bowl in football and the All-Star game in baseball. And I'm the MVP of the All-Star game.
That's pretty awesome.
So I've been there a little bit.
I find that endearing. I love that because to me, it doesn't seem like, oh, here's Bo Jackson sounding egomaniacal.
Yeah.
Like he's just taking the time to explain to this young kid who's never heard of him over and over again. And it just keeps escalating, to the point where he's telling him things that he's the only person who's ever done. And for those of us who were lucky enough to see Bo before injuries brought him down, we never saw anything like him.
Yeah, right. And it sounds like he's lying, but he's just reading his resume, which is so crazy. I mean, Bo Jackson is a true sports legend. That word gets used way too much. He's like Paul a legend.
Bunyan-esque.
Yeah, right. Where the stuff that he did, you still can't. It's still hard to believe that somebody did that. And you see and then you see the replays. You go on YouTube and you see it, and you're like, "What? Why wasn't I stopping everything that I was doing in the 1980s every time Bo Jackson was on a playing field?"
Good question. The Fever have reintroduced their Stranger Things uniforms ahead of season 5. These apparently are big.
I like them.
Merchandise the black uniforms. Are you, AD, you and Andy, you still in Stranger Things? I watched season 1. They lost me with the upside down stuff. I love the 80s nostalgia, and then I haven't watched since. Is this still good?
I watched the first 2 seasons, and I did like it. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I stopped after that point, but my kids have enjoyed it. I mean, what's fun about it here is it's in Indiana. It's not really small town. It's sort of like, medium town.
Oh, the town in Stranger Things, even though I've watched season 1, that is in Indiana.
Yeah.
I didn't put that together.
What's the name of that, Andrew? I'm forgetting what the name of the fictitious town in Indiana is. But that's fun.
Hawkins.
Hawkins. That's it. Hawkins.
Okay.
So it
makes sense.
Yeah, and it's fun with the 80s nostalgia, but then also just kind of like the high school bullshit as you're looking back. It does a pretty good job of kind of retelling the way that things used to be and how stupid some of that stuff was. But there is that like hardcore sci-fi element to it that I doesn't appeal to everybody. But I think it's kind of cool that they, everybody's looking for a reason for an alternative jersey.
This would make sense.
Yeah, this one's not really forced. I mean, that is a popular show. I would imagine a lot of the players in the WNBA have enjoyed Stranger Things, and it just kind of fits everything.
Confluence is the official beer of Murph and Andy. Confluence, where Old Tavern keeps selling out everywhere. They've got a hit.
Yeah, they do. I obviously did so well at the U.S. Open Beer Championships. I talked to John Martin today, and he's still got his chest all puffed out. He's feeling really good about that. But at the same time, he's having a hard time keeping up with the demand for his newest product, Old Tavern, which they're making more. Don't worry, it'll be there.
Good problem to have. All right, let's get some more here on a Wednesday.
But wait, there's more from Either Or Eatery and Patio.
This is brought to you by Either Or. It's a place that we love for the food and the patio, but also because they are just a super positive piece of this community. Right now they're doing a school supplies drive. If you bring in a donation, they will knock off 20% from your bill.
20%. Okay.
Now, I've been there a number of times and spent well over $100. So that's a pretty sizable discount for just bringing in some school supplies. But they do this kind of stuff at Either Or.
Nice.
They've also got live music on the patio tonight. Damon Dotson from 6 to 8 p.m. will be playing his guitar on top of a block of ice. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. One of the most colorful figures in the history of entertainment, let alone rock and roll. Gone at age 76, which is at least 40 years longer than he probably should have lived. He is the subject of one of the some of the best subject for a documentary that there is. One of the great aggregators of guitar talent ever. Played with at least 3 of the greatest rock guitarists of all time, starting with this guy, Randy Rhoads, who many rank in the top 3 all time. An incredible player, killed in a plane accident, was it a plane crash. Also Tony Iommi with Black Sabbath, and then Zakk Wylde, who took over in the late 80s and was his guitarist to the very, very end. Ozzy then just did those TV shows. Was it Meet the Osbournes? Which were so funny and watchable and absurd. And he was hamming it up a little bit, but mostly he was just being himself.
The Ozzy impressions for a while were coming from all directions.
Just stumbling around in kind of a stupor, and Sharon Osbourne became a real star there. And then he sobered up. You know, he gave up drugs and alcohol, and then there's a documentary that was produced by his son Jack. It's called God Bless Ozzy Osbourne, and it's really good. It's really interesting. And in it, you see the regret that he has for all of the drugs and alcohol and all the crazy shit that he did. I mean, he did the craziest stuff of any rocker.
He bit the head off the bat in Des Moines.
Des Moines. It's Des Moines' claim to fame. Yeah, that was in Des Moines. I remember hearing that when I was a kid in grade school, and I was like, wow, really? And then as I got older, I'm like, okay, there's no way that ever happened. It did happen, and it happened here at the old Vets Auditorium.
I think he said he thought it was a toy bat that had been thrown on stage, and it turned out to be
a real one.
Probably a dead one at the time. I don't think he
led to a series of rabies shots that he had to go get. I don't know if he went down to Methodist Hospital or something and got him after that. But just crazy. Rest in peace, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, aka Theo from The Cosby Show. I went back. I was watching me some Cosby Show reruns. It's all gotten a black eye, no pun intended, from all the Bill Cosby stuff. But that was a great show.
Yeah,
with really good messages.
And there were some great father-son moments because, so often now, if there is a father in a show or a movie, he's just a buffoon. And that was like just a real strong family.
Lisa Rashad, one of the most badass TV moms of all time.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah, she's a lawyer, and then Bill Cosby's Dr. Cliff Huxtable. He's a doctor, and they're rich, but they're still teaching these good life lessons to their kids. One of my favorite episodes I rewatched last night. Theo, who's kind of the knucklehead son, decides. He's got really bad grades, and Dr. Huxtable is getting on him about his grades. And he's just like, I don't need good grades. I'm just going to be a regular person. I don't need to go to college. He's like, how are you going to get into college with grades like this? He's like, I don't need to go to college. I'm just going to be a regular person. He's like, okay, well, how much do you think you need to make to live as a regular person? And he starts playing with the Monopoly money with him. And it's really, really great. It's just a really funny episode. But he died a crazy accident. He drowned down in the Dominican Republic?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really bad. Coca-Cola will be making a version of Coke with real cane sugar that is made in America. This was an order given from, or a strongly worded request from the president. The cane sugar will replace the high fructose corn syrup. It's also made in America out of Midwestern corn. Now, the debate over cane sugar versus high fructose corn syrup has been going on for a long time. Scientists and nutritionists are divided over whether the less processed cane sugar is actually less harmful to the body. Science is not divided over the fact that the body uses both in virtually the same way, and that both are bad when consumed in any sort of excess.
So the sugar tastes better, I think. You've had pop or Red Bull with real cane sugar versus.
Mm-hmm.
I think it tastes better. It's probably more expensive to make.
Yeah, it's absolutely more expensive to make, but yeah, I think it does. I don't know that that's more than psychological. I know when I'm drinking the Mexican Coke out of the Coke bottle with the real sugar in it, and I don't know whether it's the bottle that makes it taste better or the real sugar. I don't know. Neither one of them are stuff that Americans need any more of. We do too much of it as it is. So not to be left out of the news, Pepsi is introducing new probiotic Pepsi, or prebiotic Pepsi, rather. It is meant to combine the great taste of Pepsi with the great feeling of a healthy, productive gut.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this real, or are you making this up?
No, it's real. It's real. It'll come in 12-ounce cans, but also a 96-ounce cup that doubles as an emergency toilet, just in case the prebiotic part works a little too well.
Okay. The last part, not true, but the prebiotic is true?
Yeah.
Yeah,
look it up. It's out there.
Okay.
Yeah. A 38-year-old woman from Melbourne, Australia left a taxing job and expensive living situation to move into her aunt's retirement village a year ago. Again, she's 38 years old. So unpacking this a bit, it costs about $325 per month compared to the $18 a month to just over $18,000 to $3,000 a month to live in a similar apartment in her area. So
$1,800 to $3,000, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me say that better. $325 for the retirement community. $1,800 to $3,000 for a regular apartment.
She's figured this out.
She sees the retirement village as her permanent home, appreciating the slower pace and genuine connections with her neighbors. Yeah, in assisted living, who couldn't use a little assistance? From time to time, it doesn't sound bad to me at all. If you like hanging out, if you like feeling young,
yeah, she's
gonna feel young there for a long, long time.
And if she keeps an open mind and open ears, she'll learn some life lessons. A lot of wisdom can be passed on at that place.
Yeah, I think part of the problem though is in like the men to women ratio at those places, like 1 to 7 or something.
Oh yeah, if you're a man, you've got some options.
Field is wide open.
Yeah.
Finally, from the files of Some Headlines Don't Need Stories, we bring you this. Naked guy goes on rampage in Florida Planet Fitness. Police say Henry Antonez Alvarado ran through the Planet Fitness in Fort Myers at closing time completely nude. He was asked to leave. Instead, he went to the bathroom and tried to start a fire with paper towels, toilet paper, and lighter fluid. As police tried to wrangle him, he climbed up into the facility's drop ceiling and disappeared for a short time. Antonez Alvarado was eventually found hiding in a tanning bed and arrested by police. He was drunk.
Oh.
He also had cut his groin while moving through the ceiling and had to be wrapped in plastic and hand towels to be transported into the squad car.
Jeez.
There had to be some. I bet there was some meth in there too. They can't. Come on. You don't get drunk and do that.
You don't get drunk and think, I want to work out.
I want to go streaking and burning and climbing and hiding.
Yeah.
That's your more, everybody.
Grimaldi's fan photos presented by Grimaldi's coal-fired brick oven pizza in West Des Moines district at Prairie Trail. You can send your photos to Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. We just like to show everybody how awesome our viewers and listeners are. So send those in. AD will pick one winner each Friday, $50 gift card, so you can try or have another Grimaldi's pizza. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Mr. Movie.
It's time to go to the movies with Mr. Movie, Mike Woody, presented by P&P Small Engines.
Yeah, you go to P&P Small Engines, you just tell them Mr. Movie sent you, and they will stop everything they're doing and just give you equipment.
It's possible they'll just run out on East University and stop traffic.
Yeah,
Jeff is on his pre-state fair vacation right now before it gets nuts for him.
Smart move.
He'll be doing the state fair pricing, but he says if you're interested and you can't wait for the state fair, he'll give you state fair pricing right now at P&P Small Engine. Just go
What a
in there,
guy.
tell him we told you that's the deal.
Mention us or Mr. Movie, and he'll take care of you. Our out-of-the-box topic as we work our way through cities, movie cities, and we believe these to be actually filmed in the city and not in Toronto, as so many movies are. But a favorite movie from Las Vegas, not named The Hangover. We've hit The Hangover too much over the years.
It's so good. It's such a good funny Vegas movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's such a good movie, they made it 3 times. I mean, they basically have the same movie 3. Is Mike Tyson in all 3?
I haven't seen the other 2.
You haven't seen 2 or 3?
No.
You're lucky.
Leave it like that.
I heard all the reviews that it was the exact same movie.
Yeah, leave it like that. Okay, I'm going to pick for Las Vegas because this is a quintessentially Las Vegas movie for me. I think it's one that many people probably have not seen, but I loved it at the time, and on a rewatch, I still love it. It is Honeymoon in Vegas with Nicolas Cage. And it features we're the Flying Elvises, Utah chapter. The Flying Elvises. He ends up parachuting into Vegas with the Flying Elvises. There's a lot of good lines in this. James Caan is great in it. I think, is the love interest Sarah Jessica Parker?
Yes. God, I haven't seen this in so long. You're right. This is a fun movie.
It's a fun movie.
It is a really fun movie.
Yeah, so I if you haven't seen Honeymoon in Vegas, check it out. It's got Nicolas Cage in that because he's got several different personas. In this one, he's kind of like his Raising Arizona persona, where he's just like dumbfounded by everything going on around him. And the Flying Elvises are not to be missed. There's Flying Elvises. They still do shows.
There are a lot of movies that have some scenes in Vegas, right? They're key scenes. Rain Man would be one of those, but that's what I am going with a movie that is mostly in Los Angeles, but it sounds like I'm going to pick Swingers here. That's another one, but my movie is Go. It is. I love this movie. I've picked this before years ago, but it's. It is Taye Diggs, Sarah Polley, Jay Moore, Breckin Meyer, Katie Holmes, Timothy Olyphant. Great intersecting stories, a great fast pace, even frenetic pace. It's really, really funny. The stories all start way far apart, and then they all somehow come together in the end. It's got a great long portion of the movie that's set in Vegas where these 4 goofball buddies go there and try to take this trip and everything goes wrong. It's not a long movie. It keeps you very entertained. I don't think a lot of people have seen this movie. I'm forgetting who the director is right now. But it is Doug Ellen. Okay. The guy that did Entourage. It's a real hidden gem. It's called Go.
Okay. Mr. Movie, go.
I deliberately did not pick and I saw one of your listeners wants to hear about Oceans 12 and 13. I deliberately picked Oceans 11 because it's a real movie and not just a silly movie.
Yeah.
But look, I've got it written down. Look at the cast: George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Bernie Mac, Andy Garcia, Matt Damon, Julia Roberts, Elliot Gould, and more. It's crazy how they got all these guys together, and it's a real heist, and it feels like a real heist more than just a comedy, although there is plenty of laughs in this.
Yeah, there are, especially the banter is so good. But
oh yeah,
Ocean's 11 is a great movie because you don't, like, as you're watching it for the first time, you don't see how this is possibly going to work out and come together and how they could possibly get away with it, and they do.
But it does.
Ooh, spoiler.
Yeah, and they do. That's a good choice. AD, what highbrow movie have you picked?
Yeah, I'm going National Lampoon's Vegas Vacation. You're probably the third best vacation movie. I'd like this one better than European Vacation.
No,
I think a lot of
European's
people would probably
better
go the
than
other way. But man,
Sure,
again, yeah,
them
not a great movie, but a really, really funny movie. And some parts that are just classic. When Cousin Eddie takes Clark to the other casino, and there's games like Pick a Number or War. And Ethan Embry, who plays the son Rusty, he gets this fake ID and then just starts winning cars, and yeah, he's doing awesome. Clark loses like $25,000.
Of course he does.
It's definitely worth checking out. Nick Papagiorgio, as dude from Iowa says.
Yeah, and the last time we were in Vegas, Jenny's favorite game was War, and I have wondered if that existed before this movie did. But they do have War in some of the casinos now.
It seems like maybe it didn't. I mean, that's crazy. The idea, there's just two cards. Flip them over. One of them's higher, one of them's lower.
Mr. Movie, would you say you liked Vegas Vacation more or less than the two movies you're going to review today?
I loved all of the vacation movies combined better than I like any of the movies I saw this weekend.
All right, and with that, let's get to that. Let's start with I Know What You Did Last Summer. This is, I don't think this is a sequel. It's probably a reboot. It's been long enough where this is just starting over. Is that right?
It's a remake of a 1997 movie with Jennifer Hewitt, Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar. I mean, those people we haven't seen in years.
It was a big hit in the late 90s.
It was a huge movie when I was in high school.
It was a huge hit. Well, so now we've got the remake with a pretty much no-name cast. Somebody gets killed at the beginning of the film. Nothing given away there. And then the rest of the people that didn't do anything about it are stalked for the rest of the film, as well as those of us sitting in the theater who were stalked by this horrible, horrible film.
Did you go by yourself?
Who the hell else is going to go with me?
Okay, so you're sitting there. I'm just trying to get the feeling for this. You're sitting in the theater. You don't really want to go to this, but you're Mr. Movie, so you have to go. And like, do you stay no matter what?
Yes.
Okay.
On rare occasions, I will leave. I wanted to leave this one because it was a good 20 minutes too long, but I stayed.
Okay. And give it the grade. What's the grade?
Grade is a good solid D.
D. Okay. D for
now,
don't
at least
see.
it's a solid
Know what you
one.
did. Yeah. Solid.
So I thought, okay, well there's the bad movie of the weekend.
Yep.
No.
Not
even close. Eddington. I have no idea why this was made. You've got extremely good talent, Pedro Pascal, Joaquin Phoenix, and I don't really even know what it's about. It's set in a small town, a rural town in New Mexico, and people just, I mean, from the opening scene to the end, literally, people are doing nothing but killing other people.
I know someone who went to this, and he said it was weird and wild, but he kind of enjoyed it. You did not.
I did not. I enjoyed it to an extent, but then it just goes on and on. And I was flipping around on the interweb, and the grades from people that have seen it are anywhere from a F to an A.
Wow.
So
okay, so that
if you're really into violence,
I've seen comparison to early Coen brothers, but that it doesn't sound like you would agree with that.
oh no.
Okay.
The Coen brothers had talent. Plus, we see this scene of Joaquin Phoenix at the end of the movie being dragged naked, fully naked, across the room and propped up in a chair. And I'm like, was it in his contract that he wanted to show everybody as Johnson? I don't know.
So what's the grade for Eddington?
Well, let's see. If I know what you did last summer was a D. I would say Eddington is a good, solid F.
F?
F.
F. It is like 2 hours and 35 minutes too. So
Oh my God! It just
if
kept
you didn't
going
like
on.
it, you're stuck with it.
Yeah, and
But you didn't walk out.
I'm at the floor. I'm the only person in the theater.
Jeez. That's a lonely existence, Mr. Movie.
Just
Next
so,
time,
if you're not in
give
that
Andy a
theater, do
call.
they have to play the movie anyway, or do they just say no?
I think they usually do play it because I think they've got platters still there, and the platters feed the other platter, and then the movie's threaded with that one. So
you do need to play it, and here's why. I remember working at the AMC theaters one time, and the movie that would finish last, no one had bought a ticket for. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to be able to leave earlier tonight. I'm not going to start that. And then somebody came up like 15 minutes late and bought a ticket. Now I have to start it at that point.
Yeah.
Although in a restaurant they might go, sorry, we stopped serving. All right, Mr. Movie, Fantastic Four open. Is Pedro Pascal in every movie? Was he in I Know What You Did Last Summer?
I was just about to say that.
This is his third movie in 3 weeks. I was like, what? I don't know what's going on.
His iron's hot.
This has good buzz, but it looks just cheesy to me.
I think it wants to be cheesy.
Okay.
I think that's its shtick. It's, I don't know. This is a very hard movie to make because
they tried it like 6 times.
One of the characters is a rock that walks. One guy can burst into flame. The woman just disappears because she's invisible. So, and the other guy is just like rubber.
I've seen this movie twice in the last 15 years, and it's been terrible both times. And both with like actors I really like. Michael B. Jordan's in one of these. It's just for whatever reason they keep trying, and it has not worked yet.
They think they have it this time, Mr. Movie. You'll have to let us know next week if they got it right, and what other new movies Pedro Pascal's in.
The other thing I want to tell you, and I got it from the Fridley folks this week, is in the IMAX next month, they're going to do the Prince movie, Sign of the Times, the concert film.
Mm-hmm.
The IMAX, that's going to be pretty phenomenal.
That will be cool because we're not going to a Prince concert otherwise.
I think it airs like 4 or 5 times, so it'll be. Okay. It's must see in the Woody household.
Yeah, I would like to go do that. I know Chris Meharry will be there. Man,
I think you might be going with me.
Right, makes sense. All right, thank you, Mr. Movie. Enjoy
All right,
the
guys,
movies.
see you next week.
God, what a bad week of reviews for Mr. Movie. He sounded miserable about that, but
remember
brought
when
to you
the
by
summer
P&P
was just
Small Engine.
full of great movies?
Time for Throwdowns.
Throwdowns. It's Throwdowns. Backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
Heartland Tire and Auto treating you like family in Ankeny, Waukee, Knoxville, Boone, Creston, an authorized dealer of both Firestone and Bridgestone tires. Guys, it's that time of year when everybody starts to believe that Nebraska will actually be good at football this season. Circa has their over-under at 7.5. That's a number they haven't reached since the Obama administration. Murph, without deep diving the schedule, would you bet the over or the under?
I do think I think they're on the uptick. I would take 8. I think they can get to 8 wins.
Yeah, I'll bet on Nebraska to not do as well as everybody thinks they're going to do. Give me the under.
All right, I like it. Andy, Ragbri continues today. It's a 70-mile ride between Forest City and Iowa Falls. What do you imagine are the best and worst parts of riding Ragbri?
Going to sleep in the heat, pedaling in the heat, standing in the heat, standing around in those ridiculous cycling outfits in the heat.
How about a good thing?
I mean, I imagine it's fun to have those festivals in the towns and get to see the towns. Those towns are all dressed up for the riders. I think that part would be cool. I just wouldn't want to do all the other parts of it, which, in other words, I'm not on Ragbri then. So yeah. I don't know. None of this looks appealing to me, but I'm sure it's good fellowship.
I think the best part would be having beers with friends in the small towns. And I think the worst part would be BSTL.
Oh, okay.
A ball stick to legs.
Yeah, swamp ass, says Mike.
Yeah.
Swamp ass. Oh, major
BSTL.
swamp ass.
Yeah, it's all kind of the same. All right, Murph, the Late Show with Stephen Colbert will come to an end next spring, leaving the rest of the late night talk shows wondering how long they've got left. The Jimmys, Fallon and Kimmel, are kind of the faces of their respective networks. Seth Meyers is the only late show remaining. Which current network late night host will be the last one standing?
I think it will probably be Jimmy Fallon, but I think they're all an endangered species. Stephen Colbert show is losing $40 million a year. All 4 of these hosts are losing money. All 4 of these shows have had to do cutbacks. Like Seth Meyers just lost his live band because it's losing money. This is gone. This is something that was a huge part of, my childhood and early adulthood, but young people especially, do not gather around and watch these shows anymore. And I think the average age is in the 60s. So they're going to be gone soon. They're not going to be on these networks anymore. They're all losing money or trying to find a way to still make a little bit of money.
I think it's between Kimmel and Fallon. I think I'm going to bet on Jimmy Kimmel being the last one standing because he is the most resilient. He always finds a way to succeed when it seems like he won't. I mean, he really seemed like he was the one that was late to the party or had exceeded critical mass, and he's been the most, in my mind, he's been the most relevant in just having the most memorable segments. And Jimmy Fallon has a lot of power behind him too, but it does seem like his ship has sailed.
He doesn't
Murph is
seem
right. I mean,
real funny to me either. I mean, he's
Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, right.
Yeah, Jimmy
I mean,
Fallon.
Yeah. So it's just not. It is just completely an industry that has changed due to the way that we view TV anymore. I mean, you've got. I think Jon Stewart the other night put it like, late at night we all are living inside of a Blockbuster kiosk located inside a Tower Music. I mean, you just have anything you want to watch, listen to, play, do right then at your fingertips. And these guys are competing against that.
Yeah. All right, that's Throwdowns.
All right, now it is time for more Andrew Downs. It's the Andrew Downs audio drop of the day. We call it the AD squared.
And I have the stamina to keep doing this because of my testosterone boosting shots from Game Day Men's Health. I go to Ankeny. You can go to West Des Moines, North Liberty, wherever you are. There's a game day near you. Let them know that you heard about it on Iowa Everywhere. Rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne, who sang countless songs really, really well. And back in 2003 on the north side of Chicago, sang one song horribly.
1, 2, 3, and let's go out to the border. Let's go out to the river. Take me in and bring us into. I don't remember what I have to do. And I've gone out of the garden. And 43 and 2. runs. Come on, don't mess around. Let's get some runs, guys.
Clearly didn't know the words, but he wasn't making fun of it. He was trying in his Ozzy way.
And you wonder if is he hamming it up there and trying to sound just smoked out of his brain on drugs, or is he just smoked out of his brain on drugs? It's one or the other.
It's one or the other. Quickie poll results presented by WCI Pools and Spas.
High school state baseball and softball are best played in the same week or different weeks. Different weeks running away with this one at 77% of the vote. 23% say do it all in the same week like they're doing now.
Thank you for being part of Murph and Andy here on a Wednesday. Stay safe out there. The weather is dangerously hot. Look after others, too, as Ed Wilson reminds us all the time. Check on pets and elderly people and anybody who might need some assistance today. If you get a chance, please like and subscribe. We appreciate it very much. We're back Friday. We hope you are too.
Murph and Andy was brought to you by Ramsey Subaru on Hickman Road in Urbandale.